In America, getting sick can bankrupt you. In Norway, it's basically a membership benefit of being alive. Silent beat. Here's the mental whiplash. The US spends $14,570 per person on healthcare in a single year, 2023, and still has millions terrified of a random ambulance ride. Norway spends $9,393 per person, and people aren't starting GoFundMes because they broke a bone. And before someone says, yeah, but taxes, hold that thought. Because by the end of this video I'm going to show you one number that made me genuinely stop talking mid-sentence while researching. It involves a national rate of 23 people per 10,000, and what Norway's number looks like next to it. We'll reveal it at the end. Also, quick credibility check. We spent 50 hours crunching the numbers for this investigation. Not vibes. Not, I heard. Hard sources. If you're watching this and thinking, okay, but what's the catch? Good. That skeptical instinct is exactly why this channel exists. This is why we built Nexra. If you're tired of surface-level noise and want the raw data, join the Nexra residents by hitting subscribe. Let's look under the hood of the system. Because this video isn't about Norway good, America bad. It's about which trends America normalized that Norway quietly refused to adopt. I'm speaking as an American who thought I understood modern life. I thought the stress, the debt, the figure it out alone mindset was just adulthood. But the math doesn't add up. Here are 10 trends the US absorbed, while Norway built guardrails. 1. Medical debt as a normal life stage. America has a healthcare system where people carry at least $195 to $220 billion in medical debt. That's not a bill. That's a parallel economy. Norway? Households pay a much smaller slice out of pocket, about 14% of total health spending. Human translation. That tax rate isn't a bill. It's a subscription to a life where illness doesn't immediately become a financial emergency. 2. Unpaid leave being treated like a benefit. In the US, the big federal baseline is up to 12 weeks of unpaid, job-protected leave for eligible workers under FMLA. In Norway, parents can choose 49 weeks at 100% pay or 59 weeks at 80% pay. I need Americans to hear that again. 49 weeks at 100% pay. This isn't generosity. It's system design. Keep families stable during the most fragile year of life. 3. No paid sick leave as the default. In the US, federal law does not require sick leave. Norway? Sick leave can run up to 52 weeks, with structure. Employer covers early days, then the system supports. Human translation. In America, getting sick can cost your job. In Norway, getting sick is treated like being human. For student debt as a rite of passage. Americans collectively owe around $1.67 trillion in student loan debt as of June 2025. Norway's public higher education is structured to avoid that debt trap for many students, especially EU/EA students at public institutions. This isn't free. It's prepaid through the system, so your 20s aren't spent servicing a loan before you've even built a life. Quick like moment. If you've ever delayed a major life step because of debt, hit like. Not for me. For the algorithm to stop hiding this conversation. If you're the kind of person who questions why the way things are isn't the way things have to be, you're one of us. Hit subscribe and join thousands of others who are obsessed with the truth behind the data. 5. Mass incarceration as public policy. This one hit me hard. The United States prison population rate is around 541 per 100,000 people as of September 2025. Norway's is about 54 per 100,000 as of August 2025. That's not a small difference. That's a different philosophy. Human translation. America treats prison like a warehouse. Norway treats prison like a rehab pipeline, because they assume most people will come back out. 6. Violent death rates that feel normal. U.S. homicide rates have actually dropped significantly, from 5.76 per 100,000 in 2023 to approximately 4.8 per 100,000 in 2024 to 2025, marking the largest one-year drop in U.S. history. Norway's rate remains at about 0.72 per 100,000. Even with this historic improvement, the US rate is still nearly 7 times higher than Norway's. And yes, Norway has guns too. But the ownership structure is different. The US is estimated at 120.5 civilian firearms per 100 people, while Norway is around 28.8 per 100. 7. Maternal death being one of those things. The US maternal mortality rate was 18.6 deaths per 100,000 live births in 2023, down from the 2022 peak but still troublingly high. The latest 12-month rate ending January 2025 shows 18.0 per 100,000. This is where rich country starts sounding like branding. Norway isn't magic. It's policy, prenatal care access, postpartum support, and fewer financial barriers. 8. Homelessness as permanent background noise. Remember the open loop? HUD's 2024 point-in-time count found 771,480 people experiencing homelessness in the US, about 23 of every 10,000 people. That's the number. This is the payoff, 23 per 10,000. In the richest country on earth. Norway's homelessness rate is dramatically lower by international comparisons, tracked via OECD housing data systems. Here's the counterintuitive part. Norway didn't solve these problems by being nicer. They solved them by treating social stability like infrastructure, like roads, electricity, water. So let me ask you a brutal Sophie's Choice question. Would you rather have $10,000 more in your pocket but zero safety net, or lose the $10,000 for total security? Tell me why in the comments. I'm reading every single one. And if you know someone who would argue this for 40 minutes at a barbecue, share the video with them. I want that comment section chaos. 9. Childcare costs that punish having kids. The OECD tracks net childcare costs across countries. The US is regularly among the most expensive relative to income. Human translation. In America, kids can feel like a luxury subscription. In Norway, childcare is treated more like a public service, because if society needs children, society has to make raising them possible. 10. Low union power and you're on your own work culture. U.S. union membership held steady at 9.9% in 2024. Norway's union density is far higher, around 52.1% in 2024. Human translation. In America, negotiating pay is an individual sport. In Norway, it's more like team bargaining, so your paycheck isn't purely based on how well you can personally fight. This video is part of a bigger Nexera investigation. We're currently mapping the Human Happiness Index, the hidden systems behind why some countries feel safer, calmer, and more stable. If you don't want to miss our next deep dive into why Norway's safety net doesn't collapse under taxes and why America's does under debt, join the channel. It's the only way to ensure the algorithm keeps you in this loop. So here's the final reveal again, because it should haunt policy debates. In the US, homelessness is at about 23 people per 10,000, 771,480 human beings on a single night snapshot in 2024. Norway didn't avoid that reality through luck. They avoided it through design choices, stronger safety nets, earlier interventions, and the refusal to treat human survival like a personal moral test. Most people will watch this and move on. But if you're still here, you're part of the 1% who actually care about how the world works. Welcome to the team. I'll see you in the next investigation.